Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my garden. It is Sunday, June 22nd, which is 2 days after the summer solstice, which was on Friday. So it's officially summer. Of course, it's felt like summer for a while now, but we officially in it. So today my plan was to come out and kind of rip out all these plants and just weed and just clean up the garden a lot. We've had a lot of rain showers. We've been getting regular afternoon rain showers, which is typical in our subtropical climate, but kind of atypical too, because the last couple of years we've had mostly like dry summers. So it's nice to be back to that regular rhythm of afternoon rain, which is helpful because it's hot outside, and also because of the watering. I haven't had to water nearly as much as I was last month even. So that's been nice. Kind of one of the downsides to that, of course, is, I don't want to say plant growth, but mostly just the weeds growing. As the plants that I want to be growing are looking really good, so are the weeds that are coming up. My boyfriend went ahead and weeded everything, so it looks a lot better, but there's still a lot of weeds in the beds that I can take care of. I'm going to put some fertilizer down and do all those things. But before I started doing that and filming that video, I decided to go ahead and shoot a June garden tour so that you guys can see kind of how the garden's looking, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Y'all know I'm always transparent with y'all. Just to see how it looks now, and then you'll see the next video of me ripping everything out, putting new things in, and straightening everything up. So let's take a look at the garden and see all of the beautiful chaos of summer. So I'm going to switch it up again and start from the backyard and show you guys the garden from this spot to outside, because this spot is getting the most sun. So if I can get in and get out back to the shade, that would be great. So I'm going to start off with the seedling station. So these are the seeds that I started in my last video. The rain has kind of pelted them down, but some of them are still doing really, really good. So mostly in here, the zinnias, the other things. I can't see the cosmos. I can't see the tags, but I'm gonna take some time to pot these up today and just get them in a bigger, not the little babies, but the taller ones back there. But they are looking pretty good. Some stuff I need to redo. The peanuts, my old peanuts did not come up, but I have a bunch of other peanuts that I can plant. Oh my God, look. This is my first little cumin plant. I thought if they weren't going to germinate, especially with all the rain. You can see it's kind of taking them out, but it's so cute. Hopefully that live on, little buddy, live on. Okay. All right, so this is how the back garden is looking. Kind of wild over here, but I'm going to take care of all this. It's a huge jungle, but that's okay. The lemon balm over here is doing really great. I need to harvest some and put it in the dehydrator. The chives are doing well. I need to get these snails out of here because what? And then I need to cut this back. And then the mint actually is starting to do really well with all the rain. Lots of weeds in here that need to come out. I think this might actually be some kind of tulsi that I had in here last year, but I really want this to be an all true peppermint bed, so I'm pulling anything that is not that. I have some spent roses over here that were just beautiful yesterday. This is Dark Night, and it makes really nice red flowers. I'll put a photo of the one I took yesterday. The peppers are doing well. They're not as big. We have some smaller ones. I think next year, ooh, I take that back. We got a big daddy down here. Look at that. Okay. I think next year though, I'm only gonna put one to a pot versus two, so that I can kind of maximize production on just one plant versus getting smaller peppers on two plants. And I have this yellow one. This one is rotting. You can see, but it was turning yellow. I did pull a yellow one the other day that was completely yellow. And this one is also turning yellow. Back here, I'm not going to get into all of this because it's really just like some roses that I have, and then some tomatillos that need to be taken care of. And then more bell peppers back here. Oh no, this is a Lesa pepper, so waiting for these to turn red. Lots of peppers back here. And then a cucumber that is no longer really doing anything. It does have smaller cucumbers on here, but I'm finding that they're just starting to dry up. So I don't know if that's a pollination issue or what, but I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna pull this soon, maybe, if I don't start seeing a little bit more growth. I did fertilize it, so I don't know what that's about. I guess that's why it's producing all these little babes. Maybe I'll keep it. I'm gonna monitor it and see how it goes. And then back there are the tomatoes that need to come out. And then more jalapenos, which we have a ton of jalapenos, and I just saw some red ones back there that I can't really get to. Oh, you can see it through here, a red jalapeno there. And then down here we have a little melon, which I hope is not messed up. Oh yeah, it looks really good. Very small, but it's cute. I didn't think this plant was gonna make it, so the fact that there's even one melon on here is amazing. Over here I have another cucumber that I am going to take out. I didn't get much production out of this year, and that could be for a variety of reasons, but it's time it's going out with the old. Over here, all of this is gonna probably come out. Well, at least these. Actually, I might keep these peppers. I think these are the snacking peppers. Ooh, I didn't even see this one on here, so maybe I'll keep these. I'm 90% sure they're snacking peppers, but we will find out the hard way. I'm gonna take this tomato out because what's the point? I think this is a soil issue. All right, back in this bed is a mess, and I'm not even gonna go through it. There's some kale in there, a rose, some scabious that's going to seed, and some marigolds. And yeah, this bed also needs to be cleaned up. I don't know what I'm gonna put in there. I was thinking about just putting like a big melon in there. So I'm having a melon girl summer. I have been very much on the melons from the store this year. So I think I'm just gonna plant melons everywhere and see what happens. Okay, back to the chaos. So I don't know what I'm gonna plant in these bags once I take these. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna take them out. I think I will leave the peppers because they are starting to produce the peppers like you just saw there. And I don't know what's going on with this one. Maybe I'll just put some more compost on it and see how it turns out. But the most important thing, this pepper also probably needs a little fertilizer. I think with the rain, it's just been getting washed out. So maybe I'll do some compost in there too. Most importantly, my container melons. This is so exciting because look, I'm growing these in a little grow bag. This is maybe like a 7-gallon grow bag, and I have 2 melons in here. So we have this one, and they're starting to get ripe, which is so exciting. Perfect for my melon girl summer. And this is just in a freaking, what is that? A headscarf. Actually, I know you're not supposed to use these, especially with the rain, but I've been coming and like turning them as much as I can. So I actually ended up harvesting this melon right after I finished this video, and here's a little footage of me cutting it open. It was so good and so sweet, and this was my first melon, so I was so excited. So enjoy. This one, and then we have this Big Daddy. Like, this thing is huge. Like, this is a big melon. Hope you can tell, but it's also starting to ripen, so that's good. The peach trees still looking great. This blueberry that was dying is finally starting to produce new growth and not look so sad. So hopefully we'll have some good blueberries on this one next year. Over here, still getting cucumbers on these plants, so I'm gonna keep these in, granted that they're not bitter. So this is my gherkin plant, so I'm picking these a little late, but that's still a little gherkin size. You can still pickle that. So I pulled a few the other day. Oh, there we go. Another one. Oh, I see another one. Let me put these down. There's one in here. Clearly, like I said, I haven't been in the garden this week because I've been a little sick, but now we're cooking. There's a caterpillar in there. I see some caterpillar poop, so I need to see what's going on with that. Anyway, moving along, this Crayola pepper is doing really well still, and let me just say, I know I tried it green on camera. Red, it's so much better, and I think that pepper would make a really good seasoning powder. So if I get some more red ones, which I clearly will, hopefully, I'm gonna powder them. I think I'm just gonna dehydrate a bunch of peppers and then just make like a random pepper mix and see how that turns out. All right, so moving along, I have one more melon so far, and she's also substantial. I don't know, I'm trying to like get my hand for scale, but she's a big baddie. You can see the snails have been just, when it rains, they just come up and they just do their little trails. Luckily it didn't break in here, but yeah, so good. I did see we're getting a lot of, new growth as far as leaves and stuff on here. I did fertilize it recently, and I thought I saw another small melon growing, but I don't see it now. Oh no, here it is. I don't know that it got pollinated though, so that's okay. If I just get one off of here, I will still be happy. I'm moving over here. Not much to see except my gorgeous, roses. Y'all know I'm a rose freak. Look at that. It smells so good. That one's kind of gone by, but this one is a little fresher. Just absolutely gorgeous. The figs have little figs on them. We're getting some little figlets. I need to put some fertilizer in here too. Everything needs to be fertilized a little bit. That's kind of one of the downsides to containers, but something is eating my rose. I need to find out what that is. This blueberry was kind of dying, and it had a bunch of, I think it was just due to the soil acidifier kind of rinsing out. So I put some more in here, and I think she's gonna bounce back. So lots of like little green new growth here, which is a good sign. I want to address something I haven't addressed in previous videos, which are these strawberries. These things, I don't remember what variety they are, but they are going off, and they send out runners like crazy. So they have runners in this pot. They even have runners in here. This one has died because of the moisture, but they are going off. Like, they're going crazy. We didn't get any strawberries off of them, but I think what I'm going to do is get another raised bed, maybe to go like right here, and then I'm going to put a few strawberries in there. Now let's go back to the shade. Okay, so we're here at the front of my garden. I just want to show you guys like what it looks like from there. We are very like, it's like, should this be my thumbnail? Okay, thumbnail secured. Back to the tour. So, like, I love showing this spot of my garden because you can kind of tell, like, if you go through my videos, just looking at this opening shot through the seasons, how everything has like grown out and just looks really good. So we have these, my beauty berries, which are finally getting little berries. The bees have been on here. One was just like in my face, but like, look at that. It's gorgeous. Zinnias, which have been struggling this year, but overall doing well. I'm going to show y'all some plant surgery that I did over here. So this got knocked over from the rain, so I just put some ties on it, and now she's growing up big and strong. These are some sunflowers that I planted a while back. Hopefully they'll be blooming soon. This is a branching sunflower, and they're doing their duty and going towards the sun. And while I'm over here, I do want to show you guys this huge Diablo marigold, because look at that. So amazing and beautiful. Love that plant. The button bush is blooming. Let me tell y'all, I'm in love with this plant. The pollinators love it, and then look how cool it is. Just like those like little Sputnik style what are they, flowers, I guess? So cool. They are like the hangout spot for all the pollinators in my garden. And they look so great. So cool. Continuing along, you guys know these plants already, my pineapple guavas. These are starting to, this bed finally looks like something. Like, let me just say, finally looks like something. The rudbeckias look fantastic, and it's so nice to like watch from the porch as the pollinators are like over here doing their thing. The rattlesnake master is about to go off, getting huge, and my bee balm finally bloomed this year. So we had a lot of this throughout the garden, but let me tell you, this plant just spreads. That's all it is. I started with maybe 2 plants in here, and it has just spread out, and I'm not mad about it. We can really just do, you know, these 2 things, and I'd be pretty pleased. So I think this is gonna go over here. I did have some bee balm in this spot, but I don't know that it's gonna fill this spot in, but if it did, that would just be perfect. Over here, the tomatoes. So the tomatoes are pretty much spent. The plants look really good actually, but we're just not getting any new fruit production, even though there are flowers. I think it's just too hot, or maybe it's something I'm doing. Either way, it's time for them to go. So like I said, the next video you'll see me taking these out. These zinnias I will probably take out too, just because I don't really like them. No offense to you guys, you're just not for me, but y'all are very beautiful. So I'm gonna clear out a lot of this bed, and I might plant the peanuts in here. Oh, I didn't show you guys the peanuts back there. You'll see them in the next video. Anyway, we are getting some peppers on here. I don't remember what pepper this is. I want to say it's the ají dulce, but I don't think that's right. So once we take these tomatoes out, these peppers will actually be able to stand up and like look nice and not be looking like they're on the struggle bus. I have some mammoth basil in here that I planted when I took the collard greens out. This kale is doing good. There is a harlequin bug on there. I wonder if it fell on the ground so I can kill it. It did. Okay, so yeah, harlequin bugs actually love my kale this year. I've never seen them in the garden before, but this year they've been heavy on the kale. I don't even know if this kale is good to eat. We haven't been eating a lot of that. Over here, more tomatoes. These, I think these are the ají dulce peppers, and you can see like we have some rotting in here, but I think this one, maybe this one is good. Yeah, look how cool they look. They look like those Mad Hatter peppers, but they are ají dulce, and I can't wait to try them. Hopefully, again, once I pull these tomatoes back and it stops being a jungle back here, I can have something that looks like the peppers will have more room to grow and be supported. I'm going to take all this out. Well, these zinnias will probably come out, even though I do really, really love these. Actually, I might just leave these in here and just kind of prop them up because they are gorgeous. This one's kind of gone by. All of them are. Like I said, I haven't been out here very much, but they're really pretty in their prime. These potatoes down here need to be stood up. I dug down here. I dug down in both of my beds the other day, and there were no potatoes down there, guys, and I was just so gutted. And I really hope they grow tomatoes by the time it's time to harvest. I can't remember when I actually planted them, but I feel like there should be some action by now. So I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll see. On this side of the garden, also, if you're new here, let me just kind of explain the way my garden looks. So this side of the garden is up against the house. So this is the public sidewalk, and this is the hill strip. So because I don't have a lot of garden space, I try to maximize everything by planting in my hill strip. I don't plant really any edibles over here, except I have an artichoke plant and some fruit trees, but like no like root vegetables or like nothing planted directly in the ground that I'm gonna eat for the most part, except those plants. So you'll see kind of just how the layout looks here. So hill strip, we have hill strip, and then we have some garden beds along the house, and that's my way of like maximizing my space. So going back over here, so you can see kind of the hill strip part of it. This comfrey is finally getting huge because it no longer has this candelabra bush blocking it. So that looks really, really good. It's thriving. And then Also, I want to know, I won't be using this for anything like medicinal or internal or any kind of plant medicine because of the place that it's located. I don't know anything about the soil, and it's clearly by the streets and stuff, so I'll mostly just be using it for like chop and drops in this area. This is another of those orange marigolds that I showed you earlier. I actually did chop this one. I don't know why I didn't think, like, because it's a cosmos, but it doesn't look like a cosmos to me, like the leaves. So I forget that it needs to be pinched. So what pinching is that you just, when you have plants like this, like marigolds or zinnias and stuff like that, you want to pinch them because you see how they grow out here at the node. They'll grow and just get bushier versus like just sending up one tall stem. Which is better for, so like you saw how that one back there was like leaning down. This one is just standing up straight. It's been like a champion in the rain and having no problems because I did do that. So it's more stabilized and it's going to produce more flowers when it does kind of get ready to bloom. Over here I planted some tuberose, which is starting to come up. I cannot wait to smell these flowers. I've heard wonderful things about them, and I'm just so freaking excited about it. You can see I have a bunch of candelabra volunteers coming up, and I'm trying to decide if I want to keep them. I did plant a eucalyptus here. So this is a eucalyptus, and I'm trying to decide. First of all, I'm wondering if I need to pinch this one. I need to look that up and see, because it is just growing like one tall stem, but I don't know if it's like my bay leaf did that and it ultimately started branching on its own, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to look up also for you guys what variety this is. I got the seeds from Johnny's, so I actually think I can do it because you can kind of see, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a little plant right there in the node, so maybe I can chop that down and then get some more side branching. I have to see. Over here, you can see, this is what I was talking about with the rain knocking over my plants. So they are just kind of flopping over, and these were already kind of on dangerous ground. They weren't looking too good before, and now they're just, doing not great. This anise-hyssop is on its way out. I thought about just chopping it down and getting it to come back, but I really do want it to kind of self-seed and send some seeds all over the garden, so hopefully that's what happens. There is a rose in there, and of course these zinnias are still in here. These are the Benary's giant yellow, which I absolutely love. They kind of look like marigolds, and I'm in love with them. And we have these white ones. I think these are Benary's. I want to say they're Benary's giant white, but I don't think so because they don't look like it, but I don't know. There is also a Coco Loco rose in there, and then another mystery rose back there. So I kind of need to clear out this space because this Coco Loco is not getting any sun. It's completely surrounded by plants, so I need to air that out a little bit. Over here is my baby. This is my improved Celeste. I think it's an improved Celeste or a Celeste fig tree, and we have been getting delicious figs off of this tree, like a handful every day. It is still loaded. It's like they were so small, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get small figs this year, but they swell up so quickly and ripen so quickly. Let me see if I can find one in here. I just picked some yesterday, and I'm gonna put a picture in here of how they've been looking, but I think there's one in here. Yeah, so you can see a little bit of how they've been, and this is kind of a smaller one actually, but yeah, they are huge. I'm trying to get my hand for scale, but this one should be ready in a day or so. And the rain has kind of been not great. They've kind of been swelling them up and watering them down a little bit, but the flavor has still been really good. So, and we're still getting little baby figs on here. So it's been a good fig season so far. Here we have some sunflowers that are gone by, marigolds that are doing the same flip-floppy business, and a sunflower that is doing the shoulder lean heavily. So I definitely need to pick this up because I have 2 rose bushes under here that do not need that drama. So I'm gonna get that taken care of. Over here, more tomatoes that just look really bad, so we're gonna do something about that. And then a rose bush that needs some support because right now it's just kind of going all over the place. So I need to get a trellis for this rose at some point. You will see I have another Lisa pepper in here that is putting off really good peppers. I'm gonna put some fertilizer down on these. This eggplant is doing so much better. The rain has been keeping the flea beetles in check, I think. Or are those flea beetles? I think it's just caterpillar poop. We had so many freaking tomato hornworms on here, but I just kind of let them go because the tomato plants weren't really doing anything anymore. So I just let them do their thing. This is another Lisa pepper that needs some support. Lots of peppers on here. I think I just lost one. So lots of peppers on here. So I need to come and stake this up. And again, once the tomatoes get out, it'll be a lot better for them. This freaking pineapple sage is absolutely insane. Like, why did I put this in this bed? It's so huge and monstrous. I need to come. I still haven't tried this in a tea, and I need to do so I can see if I actually like it and if it's worth dehydrating some. So I'll report back on that. Over here we have the sweet potatoes, which is a lot different than the last time you guys saw this bed. They are living their best lives in here and going crazy. I think these are from snails. Again, we have a lot of snails, and the rain has just been sending them up everywhere. So I think we will have a good sweet potato harvest this year. Okay, this is my bed that had a bunch of cherry tomatoes in it. I never got any cherry tomatoes off these plants. One, because I planted them probably too late, and two, because they had hornworms on them really bad. The hornworms were crazy this year, and I'm glad I'm not as afraid of them as I once was. I actually think they're kind of cute now, but once I started seeing them, I kind of just let them have it. At some point I was like, it's fine, it's yours. They weren't doing too much, and I was just kind of over it at that point anyway, so I just let them kind of go. I am gonna try these again in the fall because I really want to try the varieties. I believe it was a Brandywine cherry tomato, I think, and Brad's Atomic Grape, which is a really good tomato. Then I have these beans down here, which are oddly enough still producing, even though I have not picked anything off of them. I don't know that I will grow. Oh, there's a lot of green beans in here, actually. It's a lot of green beans. Probably past their prime, but they're in there. So you can see lots of green beans in there. I don't know that I will grow green beans again because honestly, we don't really eat them a lot. So I don't hate them. I actually like them fresh, but I guess it's just a matter of finding good recipes to make with them. I know just sauteed with garlic and olive oil and herbs or whatever is probably good. So maybe it's just a matter of doing that. Of course, I can always pickle them, but I just didn't find that it was worth the effort because it's just not something that we tend to eat. So yeah, this bed is where I'm gonna grow my sesame seeds actually. So those plants look really good. So once those get a little bit bigger, I'm gonna take these out and put those in. This right here is my beautiful arch trellis, which is not very beautiful this year because last year I had a passion fruit growing over this, but this year it's just kind of dead matter. So I am waiting for this rose. This is a Darwin's Enigma rose it smells so good too. I'm waiting for this Darwin's Enigma, which has been growing really fast, so I will give it credit, of course. It's been growing up, so I'm waiting for it to grow over and eventually cover this trellis. So eventually this will be covered entirely with that rose. The bananas are doing absolutely phenomenal. They are living their best life. I tried to thin these out. I took out a few banana plants and they just popped up with 10 more. So I think that was just my advice to leave it alone. I actually think we have a rack growing on here, so let me take you to see that. Yeah, we do. Look how cool. So last year we lost our bananas in a rainstorm. The whole rack fell off. So this year we might actually get some bananas. Look at that. we'll see how it goes. But you can see they're like tiny little bananas. That is so cool. I love watching this process kind of carry out. So you can see this is like the top of the flower, and then it opens up one layer of its petals, and then gets pollinated, and then it'll open up again, and then that's how you get the rack of the bananas. So that is super exciting to see. Over here, this bed has sweet potatoes, and it also has ground cherries in here. I'm gonna take all of this out because I just don't enjoy growing ground cherries, to be honest. I like the fruit, but they're kind of fussy, and I just don't enjoy growing them that much. And I honestly didn't know that these would be ground cherries in here. Yeah, I'm gonna take all this stuff out and plant something else. I'm not sure what, but just something else. There's a tomato back there that does have little tomatoes on there. I think it's called champagne bubbles, but it wasn't a great tomato in my experience, so I don't feel the need to keep growing it. So this whole bed is going to come out with the exception of the sweet potatoes that are over there. I may just let them kind of do their thing, but I have to see what else I can plant in here. Over here, these peppers are doing really, really well. I need to stake this little baby up, which I thought I did. Let me see. Well, I'll do that later. So this is here. This is a Hungarian Magyar pepper. So these are getting a little color on them, and I think these are the same pepper. I have some padron peppers in here too, so I'm trying to like make sure I can differentiate between the two, and I think I can because I can see one of the padrones back there. You can definitely tell the difference between that one and like this one. I think these are just shishitos that need to be harvested, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest these. And of course, I love these blistered with some garlic aioli, and I will probably have these for dinner tonight. So I have a few that I harvested the other day, so we don't need a huge harvest. And do as I say, not as I do with harvesting your peppers, because I just took off like a little branch. Up here I have some potatoes that were leaning, and I finally just put them up. And then some marigolds. Like I was saying, I dug out this bed too, and no freaking potatoes to be found, so hopefully that changes soon. If y'all have any advice on that, let me know. And just to go in on the peppers, I just want to get a little closer look at them. The padron peppers versus because I thought this was okay, maybe this is a padron too. Yes, because it's leaning over here. So this is a padron as well, I think. So that's kind of what they look like. This is kind of similar to you would treat it like the shishito, like you do the shishito. They are a tapas pepper, I think, in Spain. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference between the Hungarian Magyar and the padron pepper. So I can't wait to taste these. Super girly, y'all. Okay, we just took that one off, so maybe I'll just make these together. I'll come back and get those later. All right, so just so you can see the garden from this vantage point, thinking about putting another raised bed here, but I'm not sure yet. I do kind of like having this area clear, but I don't know, we'll see. Over here we have our little street kitty. And then we have a bunch of marigolds that are just laying on the ground. Like I said, the rain has been very hard, and so these plants need more support, and I need to go ahead and stake them up. And then we have this nice bush killer vine that is growing all up and through them. And yeah, that's just pretty much this. I have a sunflower over here that also needs some support. So lots of staking that needs to happen. I wish I had a picture of this blanket flower. I'm kind of switching gears, but there was a blanket flower, and one of them I've shown you guys the white ones, but not the pink ones. It was so freaking beautiful. And I just chopped it off. This is another flower that can be pinched. You can see these sides coming out because I did chop it off. So hopefully we'll get some more branching and some more flowers. Over here we have our Turk's cap. I've talked about that a lot. Another sunflower, which I'm happy to see growing up. My Cosmo patch is officially gone. I mean, I can probably rescue it actually, because I can probably just, oh, I just broke that off. So yeah, I just need to clear this out. The bee balm is spreading like I wanted it to. It's also flopping over a lot. I had some gomphrena in here, which I don't know where that went. Oh, here it is. So I had some gomphrena in here. I have some gomphrena in here. That's growing out a little bit. And then we can talk about this baby. Look how beautiful. Y'all know I love my angel trumpet. It died in the snow, but it came back, and it just looks really stinking gorgeous. And then over here I have my elderberry. I think this was damaged by pesticides, because look at that. It just looks like pesticide damage to me, unfortunately. But this is a very resilient plant, so I'm not too worried about it. We are getting a lot of new growth that does not look harmed by the evil pesticides, and we even got a few flowers. So that's good. This again will not be used for medicinal use. It's just here for the pollinators and the bees and the birds. Oh, we got a little visitor. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, there was like 2 butterflies over here. A lot of pollinator action, y'all. Look. And this is a different one. So we're just getting a lot of plants at the buffet this year. And I like to just give you guys, I need to come and pick all these plants up. I don't want to give you guys just a vantage point from the street side and how everything's looking, and just how my garden is laid out. And I don't ever think I've talked about this massive monster here. This plant is blue mist flower, and it is wild and unruly and beautiful. It's a native plant, and it smells really good. Not like jasmine or anything like that, but it has like a faint, nice smell. And it creates these like really beautiful blue flowers, and it is a pollinator magnet. If you live in a place where this is native, I highly recommend it if you can deal with the bushiness. It does spread by rhizomes under the ground, so that is not always ideal, but I'm letting it just have this space here. It does die back in the winter, but it comes back in the spring, and it's beautiful, and you will see lots of bees and butterflies and things on it, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Then over here, I forgot that I had planted these here. This is like my little zinnia patch, which looks a hot mess, y'all. I know I need to get this together. So I'm going to pull these out at some point. But I did plant some dahlias in here, and I think I have another one that I want to put over here that's in a pot. And I think it would just be better if this was just a dahlia patch. But this one is doing really well that I planted. I don't remember what it's called. I thought I would have put the stakes. Oh, I did. Okay. This is Valley Tawny. And this one is Caitlin's Joy. And I got these from, Sunny Meadow Farm. And I hope that they both survive. And I think I'm going to add one in here. And then just cut these zinnias out because they look so sad. And this one is gorgeous though. Look at that. This was a volunteer, I believe. I just need to stake it up. They just need some support. We all need a little support sometimes, and they definitely need some. And I need to clear this pathway. All right, guys, so that is the June garden tour. Not a lot to see, just a lot to clean up and a lot to take out and put back in. I'm going to be planting out some beans and maybe some more melons. And I think that's probably it. And of course the flowers that we started, if the ones that I can salvage that were damaged in the rain. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you like this channel, please share with your friends who may be gardeners. Subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow, and I really enjoy making these videos, so I hope you guys enjoy watching them. Thanks for stopping by. I will see y'all next week. Have a good week. Bye.